Previously on Holiday Baking Championship. A Kronzig cake with an edible bow.
Now we're excited! Oh my God, it's collapsing.
Hey, Melissa, are you gonna make it?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it.
The statement bow was much larger.
Not surprising it fell off.
It tastes like corn. Like corn?
You did not fail with that chestnut flavor. If it only stood up.
I know.
Kobe, your wreath cake was the best.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, though, the baker leaving us is Devin. Hey, bakers. Oh, so, you know, during the season, we give gifts all the time. We bring hostess gifts to parties and gatherings, give gifts to our coworkers and friends, or like how we will be giving one of you the ultimate gift, $25,000, the opportunity to star in a baking series on the Food Network Kitchen app, and of course, the title of Holiday Baking Champion. Well, you guys know, as far as gifts go, if you really want to show that you're super thankful, bring a gift that says, I'm nuts about you and all that you do, like Holiday Spice Nuts. So Holiday Spice Nuts have exploded in popularity and flavor combinations. I mean, in the old days, there was cinnamon and sugar, but now, just look at all these. They're all so creative that it begs the question, what kind of desserts can you make with Holiday Spiced Nuts? Well, we're giving you 2 hours to find out. When time starts, grab a jar and bake up the most amazing holiday spice nut dessert possible for an advantage in the main heat.
Yeah, I definitely need to redeem myself from last week, and I will take any help I can get, so I'm hoping to get that advantage.
All right, 2 hours for holiday spice nut desserts. Go nuts, go bakers, because your baking time starts right now.
I just want it.
Turmeric ginger spice nuts.
I got Mexican spiced chocolate nuts. Hey, Janet, got maple bacon nuts. That's Canadian.
I wanted maple bacon, but I get smoky candy nuts.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be so good.
It's a smoky, and yet there's like a pepper heat to it. There's something in my heart saying I gotta do carrot cake. I really want to bring that earthy country flavor to my spice nut.
Gotta make it have a workout. Those arms working.
This is an old recipe that has been in our family for a long time. So I get my oil going with my sugar, my eggs, and some vanilla extract. And then I incorporate my flour and dry ingredients, and then I add all my grated carrots. Smells like home. And then I get my nuts all chopped up and throw those in there too. So I take a taste and I'm thinking,
I might want to put pineapple in there.
carrot cake has to be moist. And if you're worried about moisture, then you've got to add a little bit of fruit. So pineapple is what we love with carrot cake.
I got a Mexican spiced chocolate nut. So it's actually a pecan with a chocolate coating, and then that spice hits you right at the end.
I'm going to make the most beautiful cheesecake that these judges have ever seen because I feel like it just makes the holidays the holidays. My crust is going to be a chocolate cookie crust. I'm going to add some of the ground up Mexican spiced chocolate nuts into the crust itself for a little extra texture. I'm going to do a spiced cheesecake with cinnamon, nutmeg, and a little cayenne just so it's hot at the end. And then I'm going to do a Mexican chocolate ganache on top to really pull that flavor forward even more.
Bake.
Dude, congrats are in order. You were a home baker and you won the first main heat.
I did one for the bakers at home.
Representing for all the home bakers at home. So that's gotta make you feel great. It's gotta give you a lot of confidence. First off, tell me, what nuts did you get here?
I got the turmeric ginger spice nuts. I'm gonna make a macaron, a French macaron,
Why did you decide to go macaron?
because that's always been something that I started doing, and it's my specialty.
To make my macaron, I whip a meringue. Then I add my dry ingredients, almond flour, powdered sugar, and salt. I also add turmeric powder and ginger powder because I want to make sure they get that flavor. I'm trying to color it red for the holidays, but my macarons come out pink. Once the batter is finished, I pipe my macarons and throw it right in the oven. For my filling, I'm making a Swiss meringue buttercream, and then I decided to put my turmeric ginger spice cashews into my buttercream, just so that way it can give it a nice texture.
Bakers, 90 minutes left. Holiday spice nut desserts. In a nutshell, you're baking for an advantage.
That one made you laugh? Seriously?
I get maple bacon spiced nuts. I don't like salty and sweet, but I know that most people love it, and so I decide I'm gonna make some sticky buns. I've been making this sticky bun recipe for 20 years now. My whole family loves it, and I'm hoping the judges will too. I have no idea if 2 hours is enough time, but I'm gonna go for it. I get it right into the oven at the lowest temperature it can go to start proofing. Okay. Once my dough is risen enough, I roll it out and pour on butter. And then I sprinkle on the cinnamon sugar mixture, and then I add in a good portion of the mixed candied bacon nuts. I roll that up, I slice them individually so that they're ready to go into the muffin tins with the goo that's going to drip down outside of it. And my spiced maple bacon nuts on top.
Hey, Jennifer, what are you making?
Making sticky buns. What are you making, Jeff?
Making sticky buns.
Oh my God. Oh, no. May the best sticky bun win.
So I got the sweet habanero nuts. Today I'm making a sticky, spicy nut bun. Every year around the holidays, my oldest son, Grayson, and I, we bake sticky buns. So at this point, the dough's proofed. So I take the sticky bun dough and I'm gonna use the nuts with my favorite ingredient in the world, sorghum. It's molassesy, if that's a word, molassesy. I'm gonna make that sorghum glaze and nestle that down in the bottom of the pan and put the sweet habanero nuts on the inside. There needs to be a lot of these. To ramp up the flavor a little bit more, I'm gonna take a little bit of brown sugar and some of the peanuts. I'm gonna grind that up and put that in the middle of the dough. Roll that up. So the nuts are gonna be a topping as well as a filling. Here we go. Oh, there's a timer!
Timer going off?
Yes.
Thanks. I get rosemary spiced nuts. I'm making a rosemary spiced nut brownie. To make my brownie batter, I make a dark chocolate ganache. I then add my sugar, my eggs, and then flour, cocoa powder, salt, and then, of course, my rosemary spiced nuts. For the nuts, it was a very subtle flavor of rosemary, so I'm going to enhance it by a little bit of fresh rosemary. The inspiration for this dish is going back to my childhood. We always made brownies for Christmas, and now I want to make my mother proud. I decide to make a cream cheese icing because it will balance the chocolate and the rosemary of the nuts.
1 hour left, bakers. Holiday spice nut desserts. What nuts did you get?
Oh, I got the Indian
spice nuts.
I decide to make a bread pudding. I create a base with cream, buttermilk, eggs, and sugar. And then I add my spices. I don't need to add anything else to this. My nuts! I add my chopped Indian spice nuts.
How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. And then I get it right into the oven.
I got the pumpkin spice nuts. So I'm making my brown sugar buttermilk coffee cake. And I'm going to be incorporating my pumpkin spice nuts by grinding it up and putting it in the batter and also putting it into the streusel. I like a little coffee cake with my streusel.
All right, guys, this main heat coming up. It's a tough nut to crack, so believe me, you're going to want the advantage on this one.
I want any advantage I can get. I get the holiday mulling spice nuts. I taste them, and I'm getting mostly cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg. Cool. We're gonna start building a 6-layer bar. The bottom layer is gonna be like a salted snack crust, so it's gonna be made of butter crackers, salted pretzels, toasted oats, brioche, and some sugar. And I get that in the oven.
Oh my God, that's good.
So with the nuts, I'm gonna kind of make like a praline, buttery pie filling. I'm just gonna use my spice nuts from the jar, chop it up, get it in a pan with some brown sugar, and a little bit of brandy. Okay, let's get the next layer now. Now it's time to start building the rest of the 6 layers. One layer is gonna be a gianduja and guillotine crunch layer. Okay. And then a regular dark chocolate ganache, a brown butter marshmallow, and we're gonna have some chantilly on top.
I smell something burning.
Something's burning, guys.
Oh, shoot. Oh my God, I burnt my praline. Oh my God. I'm not trying to relive last week's nightmare. This seriously cannot be happening. That's burnt. Ah!
15 minutes, bakers. Holiday spice nut desserts.
Oh, I was making praline with my nuts and I forgot about them, so they're burnt. I'm making a 6-layer bar, and this is the most important layer in there, so I have to start over. Hashtag reset. I'm feeling okay about these nuts, so I start building my 6-layer bar. This is gonna be the thickest layer.
I'm thinking to myself, the cheesecake is beautiful, but it's not very festive. So I need a cute garnish.
Well, I'm making a chocolate sugar cookie dough with a little spice in it, and they're all gonna hug the little pecan because I love them so much. I love pecans. I love them.
6 minutes left now. It's those last-minute decisions. What goes on the plate?
I'm thinking I want to put some decor to really dress it up. So, let's do some sugar work. Almost there. I'm just gonna do a simple ribbon.
Nice, dude, yeah.
A little bit of red, a little bit of green. Oh my goodness.
Classic way to pair a carrot cake is with the cream cheese icing. Just want a little bit of that on there. I would love to get more on here, but there's just no time.
Should we go upside down?
The baking gods have smiled.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one. Hands up. Step away
Crushed
from your
it.
station.
Happy holidays!
All right, bakers, please welcome back our judges. Lorraine Pascal.
Hey, bakers.
Duff Goldman.
How's it going, y'all?
And Nancy Fuller.
Happy baking.
Judges, we've got desserts using holiday spice nuts. Jennifer.
I got maple bacon spice nuts, so I made maple bacon sticky bun.
I think it's really impressive that you gave us a yeast-fed bun in the time you had. I love the flavors. I'm getting the salty of the bacon, and then I get the maple, and then I get the crunch of the nut.
You got the salt with the sweet, with the nuts, and the bacon and the soft roll. You're coming at it from so many different angles, and it just makes the bite really fun.
Jennifer, great stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cedric.
I got Indian spice nuts. So I made an Indian spice bread pudding.
It looks ooey gooey like bread pudding shouldy.
I think you've used the spice really cleverly. I'm just getting a bit of heat and that spice, which is so perfect.
I'm definitely tasting your Indian spice. I'm definitely tasting peanuts, and I'm definitely tasting cashews.
All right, Cedric, thanks.
All right.
Surprisingly good.
All right, judges, let's bring up Janet.
Well, we got the smoky candied almond nuts. So I made smoky candied almond carrot cake with pineapple and cream cheese icing.
Why is there the merest whisper of cream cheese frosting on top?
I agree.
You obviously don't.
She must do that all the time.
It's absolutely stunning and moist and gorgeous and just how it should be. But unfortunately, I'm not getting the smoked candied almonds at all. But this is a very good recipe.
All I'm tasting is pineapple. Call it a pineapple cake. Don't call it a carrot cake.
Janet, thank you.
Thank you.
Dwight.
I got rosemary spice nuts. So I made a rosemary spice nut brownie.
I think it looks very festive. Christmas all over the plate.
Cream cheese frosting is really good, and your brownie tastes really good.
Thank you.
I like the way you've used the rosemary. You know, it's not overpowering. I'm getting the nut flavor in there, but yeah, the brownie's a little bit hard. I had trouble cutting into it.
All right, Dwight, thanks.
Thank you.
Maria.
Aloha, judges. I got pumpkin spice pecans. So I made a brown sugar buttermilk coffee cake.
I think this looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Let's take a huge bite.
Delicious. I'm getting the pumpkin spice nuts. And the actual coffee cake is so moist.
Every baked good I get from Hawaii is just so good.
It's aloha.
It is. I can taste the aloha.
Maria, thank you so much. Sarah.
I had the Mexican spice chocolate nuts. So I made a Mexican spice chocolate cheesecake, and then the cute little guys are a Mexican chocolate sugar cookie.
Like a little baby.
Here's the bun.
It looks so cute.
Wow. I get the spice. I get the nuts. I get everything.
All right, Sarah, thanks.
Thank you.
Melissa.
I got mulled holiday spice nuts. So it is a 6-layer bar.
Beautiful presentation, nice clean lines.
Dude, this crunchy thing on top is crazy. It's like bready and crackery and sweet and salty.
Incredible. I can taste your mulled spice nuts. This is so unusual, but it really, really works.
Thank you.
All right, Melissa, thank you.
Yum.
I thought that was
Wow.
outrageous.
Jeffrey.
I had the habanero spicy nuts. So we gave you a sweet and spicy sorghum sticky bun.
I think it looks really cute.
I was expecting a lot of heat, and I didn't get that, thank goodness.
Yeah.
The way you've done the peanuts is brilliant. I love it. Lovely flavor. And look at this. Bit of pulled sugar.
Jeffrey, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kobe.
Today I got the turmeric ginger spice cashews. So I made a turmeric ginger spiced macaron.
It looks like you had fun making this.
I get the ginger, the turmeric. I'm getting the nuts. Good job.
So you got turmeric, ginger, spice nuts. I think it's pretty unfortunate that you got that. I think it's pretty unfortunate that you got that for the rest of those guys, because that was delicious. I loved it. It's really good. Not only that, this is a picture-perfect macaron.
Macaron is really my thing, and I try to perfect it, and you guys just validated me, and I'm like so happy about that.
All right, awesome job, Color.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you, judges.
But it's too sweet.
Okay.
I didn't even see him.
Bakers, you like my new ride?
Nice. Yeah, Jesse, you look good up there. Oh my goodness. Wonder what my hubby would look like on a tractor.
Bakers, the judges were nuts about your dessert. But they had nothing but love for one in particular. And the baker that created it is Melissa.
I want a challenge.
Melissa, congratulations. Your 6-layer spice nut bar won you the advantage. I'm going to get to that in just a moment.
I'm really glad I redeemed myself.
So every year in towns across America, people celebrate the bounty of the harvest with fall harvest festivals. What better way to show off those delicious ingredients than in pies? So to celebrate the fall bounty, you're going to be making a harvest pie tower. So at each of your stations, you'll find a tower with 3 graduated tiers. And your challenge is to fill the tower with 3 beautifully and uniquely decorated pies featuring a single harvest ingredient. And you got to do it in just 2 hours.
Okay, so you have to make 3 pies, different sizes, with 1 pie filling, decorated 3 different ways.
So when time starts, you're going to run up and you're going to grab those little crates. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. So Melissa, as the winner of the preheat, once time starts, you can switch the ingredient you grab with any other bakers if you're not happy with it.
So my advantage is I can take the pie filling flavor that I get and switch with anybody else if I don't like what I get.
2 hours to make spectacular pie towers, and you're baking to stay in season right here. And your baking time starts now.
I run up and I ended up with ginger, which I'm not super stoked, but I have my advantage and I'm definitely planning to switch.
Got maple.
I got ginger.
I got plum. Don't you come over here.
What do you got?
I got plum.
Oh, Maria.
No, honey.
I'm so sorry. I want it. My partner Sean loves plums, so he's going to be my inspiration for this challenge. Oh my God, all these plums are good. So for this main heat, we have to make a big pie, a medium pie, and a small pie. With the same pie fillings, we just have to decorate them all differently. So today I'm going to be making three plum pies with 3 different decorations. Plum is such a beautiful flavor, so I really just want to highlight it and not take too much away from it. Let's make pie dough. My favorite pie dough, I'm not shy with shortening, like it gives it so much flake. Okay. And then I just get that line through my pies, get it in the blast freezer. All right, time for filling. For my filling for this pie, I have 2 different kinds of plums. The dried plums are going to carry lots of flavor, and then the fresh, we're just kind of highlighting and making it a little more tart, and then marrying them together to make 1 pie filling. With small pie, I cut out the plum leaf, and then I start to shingle them tapered, like a fat arrow. I want to showcase different techniques in decorating using pie crust. There we go. And then I get in the oven. I'm okay with that.
Hey, Jeff, what ingredient did you get again?
I got apples. What'd you get?
Oh, I got pear.
Close. Are we a pair?
We are. Oh, my God.
Oh my God, really?
Apples, I'm good. Lots of options. I'm making a caramel apple cream pie. Once my crust is done, I start on my filling. I'm approaching this pie challenge in layers. The first cream layer is a caramel-infused and apple cider reduction cheesecake batter. I then have the rest of my cheesecake batter, and then I can bake my apples, which will be partially done at that point, right on top of that, and then voila, we should be done.
Let's see if I can pull this off.
For decoration, on my larger one, I'm gonna do some Christmas trees. Medium pie, I'm gonna do that traditional diamond pattern. And then on my baby pie, I'm gonna do concentric little pointed pieces like feathers. Boom.
Maria.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you going to do with the switch?
Nuts.
No, really? Okay.
Macadamia nuts this time. Melissa took the plum for me and gave me ginger instead. So I'll be making a macadamia nut ginger pie today. I live on the Big Island of Hawaii, and this pie reflects the tropical flavor of my home. I make my macadamia nut pie filling by combining corn syrup and eggs and granulated sugar, and then I take butter that has had ginger steeping in it, and then I'm also going to add some chopped crystallized ginger in with the filling, so you get some of that chewy ginger with the crunch of the mac nuts. I know Lorraine is a ginger lover, so I know I'm really going to have to bring it to her today.
1 hour, 45 minutes left.
I'm like now freaking out. I got 3 pies to bake. I'm just going with the classic maple pie with the flaky crust. My dough is so perfect, it's not falling apart.
Janet, how you doing over there?
I'm having fun with the pie dough and wishing my mom was here.
You make a lot of pies with your mom?
Tons of pies. The key to this filling is getting the maple flavor. I get the butter, I get it melted, I get the brown sugar, I get the maple syrup, I get the eggs, the heavy cream. Perfect combination for maple pie. So when you got your pies filled, you whip up the egg whites.
I'm not going to forget you. If I forget you, Mom's going to kill me.
You dab that meringue all around all the edges. It's going to add an extra layer of crunch and also flakiness.
Make Mama proud. Oh, Janet, I know you have that maple syrup, girl.
Get them the maple.
I did.
I went for that pumpkin, and I got that pumpkin.
I'm going to make a classic pumpkin pie. I'm doing an all butter crust. The butter is where all of the flavor is. To make my filling, I'm going to take my pumpkin puree. Whoa. There's some ground ginger in there, all of those spices.
And then if I put a little maple syrup in mine, so it's like a little more cozy, I'm not going to spill you.
This needs to be the Beyonce of pumpkin pies, and it will be.
Bake for me, please.
And then I get started on all of my decorating pieces for my pies.
So I'm going to make one look like a little present with a little tag that says "To you from me." And one is going to have a little pumpkin patch with pumpkins and leaves and all this cute stuff. And then the third one is just going to say "Gobble, gobble." Kobe, what was your harvest ingredient?
Figs.
My only time seeing a fig was on a charcuterie plate, and it was always paired up with goat cheese. So I can't imagine why it wouldn't work in a dessert as well. But the first thing I'm starting on is going to be the crust. And today I'm deciding to venture out a little bit, and I'm going to incorporate some fried basil into my cookie dough crust. We'll see how it goes. For my filling, I'm making a goat cheese cheesecake. It's your basic cheesecake filling, but I'm substituting some cream cheese for the goat cheese. While my pies are baking, I decided to start on my fig flambe.
Woohoo, Kobe!
Oh, look at that flambe over there, Kobe.
That looks awesome.
So I add my fig flambe on top and throw them back in the oven again.
Decoration, decoration, decoration.
So my decorating plan is a play on the harvest. The top layer of my pie is going to be green leaves. The second part is going to be brown leaves. And the third part is just an autumn leaf.
They got time?
1 hour and 20 minutes left.
Thank you.
Okay, so what harvest ingredient did you get?
Today I got sweet potatoes, and I'm gonna do a chai spiced sweet potato pie.
Okay. I like where
Oh, is that okay?
No, it's not. I don't know why I always forget to not high-five Jennifer.
My pie crust is done, and now it's time to make my filling. In a blender, I add in my cooked sweet potatoes, and I add all the spices that come with the chai. I get those all together with some brown sugar, eggs, evaporated milk, and a little bit of melted butter to really give it that richness that it needs.
1 hour and 3 minutes left.
Oh, there it goes.
Maybe I did. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I go to get my large pie out of the oven, and it has this huge dome in the middle of it.
Look at this home.
That happens sometimes. It'll go away.
I know it's baked all the way through, so I pull the pie out of the oven and thinking it'll just fall naturally.
Oh my God.
No! That doesn't happen. There is a huge crater in my pie.
I'm absolutely panicking. I think I have to make another pie. Stupid pie.
Three pies, all the same flavor, but with 3 different top crusts. And remember, after today, there's going to be one less baker at the Harvest Fest.
Oh, hey, sir, what happened with your pie?
It totally sank. That whole bubble just deflated.
I'm feeling panicked, terrified, and not ready to go home.
55 minutes, bakers!
I don't think I have enough time to make another pie in 55 minutes.
You could take a cookie cutter, take that section out, and put like a lot of decorations in it, and so then it may seem like it's intentional in a way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, go for that.
Thank you.
So I take all of my tendrils and pumpkins and leaves, and I fill in all of the holes so it looks like a pile of leaves.
And what's your ingredient?
Cranberry.
There you go.
So to make my cranberry filling, I throw in some spices, brown sugar, orange juice, and brandy. Now let's make some magic. So I'm thinking about my pie, and I don't want the cranberries to be too overpowering. So I'm thinking about streusel.
I'm gonna just make a traditional pie dough. I'm making a pear pie. I'm adding walnuts and raisins to give it a little bit of texture and a lot of crunch. I also decided to make a crumble. I take a basic brown sugar cookie recipe and I add in some oats for some texture and I mix it enough just so it's nice and chunky.
Alrighty.
What are you doing over there?
Punching out some leaves. Gonna put it on top of my pie to give the decoration look a little bit different.
45 minutes left. Oh, yikes.
No.
Bakers, may I have your attention, please?
It's a twist. I'm gonna hit you.
There's only one topping that goes with every pie. Whipped cream.
Oh my God, I knew that twist was coming.
So for this twist, you must each whip up a flavored whipped cream to go with your pies. Here, let me give you a quick visual reference.
Oh my God, I want to watch that on a loop.
Okay, baking. Gotta get my mind on baking. Hot flash. I'm making a maple whipped cream to go with my maple pie.
I like my whipped cream really thick.
Perfect.
I'm deciding maybe I'll just whip it by hand. I want to try something new, and I'm choosing to make a basil honey whipped cream because figs, honey, and basil work well.
I did it. My whipped cream right there.
How you looking over there, brother?
Good. Are you hand whipping your cream?
Yes. Go ahead, do the guns.
I'm not doing that.
Come on, man. That's how we get this.
I am making orange whipped cream. I think this orange will make every flavor in that pear walnut raisin pie pop.
Okay, bakers, 30 minutes left. Guys, remember, make sure all 3 top crusts look different.
I want my sweet potato pie to look rustic, so I'd start decorating them with the brown sugar crumble and the chai spice meringue. The twist is to make a flavored whipped cream for our pies, so I immediately think of bourbon. Nancy especially loves it, so bourbon whipped cream it is. So what did you make for your whipped cream, Melissa?
I did malted milk. I know my pie filling's a little bit sweet, so malted milk is gonna help cut the sweetness. Oh my God, and that pie is perfect. Oh my God, I'm stoked.
15 minutes, bakers. Don't forget the flavored whipped cream, guys.
For the twist, I want to do something that complements pumpkin, so I'm going to do a cinnamon whipped cream.
Who has the ginger powder?
Well, of course I'm doing a ginger whipped cream. I add ginger syrup and powdered ginger to my heavy cream.
Okay, well, I have my whipped cream.
I plan to decorate my harvest pie tower by piping colored whipped ganache into different holiday greetings. So I check on my pies, and I'm having a problem now. The pies are taking too long to bake, and that means they're going to take too long to cool down. If I put ganache on a warm pie, it doesn't matter what I pipe, it's just going to melt together.
This is going to be close.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas. My decorating plan is to use coating chocolate to have it a little bit reminiscent of a Christmas tree.
The lattice pie top.
I add some quenelles of the citrus whipped cream to emulate presents on the bottom layer for my pie tower.
Let's go. Decorate, decorate, decorate.
Run, Sarah! Run, Sarah!
It's chasing me.
Big Christmas magic.
Oh my goodness, I hope I make Mom proud.
3 minutes, bakers. Hurry it up. Hey, Maria, you going to be ready?
I hope so. Time is running out, so I start to pipe onto my pies, and it's melting, and it's looking horrible.
Not good, but I gotta go with it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up. Step away from your stations.
That was tough.
All right, judges, our bakers had 2 hours to make a harvest pie tower and a flavored whipped cream to go with it. Cedric, tell us about your pie.
I got cranberries as my harvest ingredient. I made a cranberry citrus pie with a brown sugar streusel and also a citrus whipped cream.
Let's talk presentation. Duff.
You know what I really like about your decoration is that they're all different, but they all go together. I think it's great.
So here we have this gorgeous brown butter streusel. And then I get through to this perfect cranberry. And then I get down to the crust. That's the only thing letting you down here.
Look, it's like, you know, I mean, it's really blonde. Like, just didn't bake enough.
Cedric, thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you so
Cedric.
much.
Ah,
I really wish that was crunchy.
I wish it was too.
All right, judges, harvest pie towers with whipped cream on the side. Jennifer.
My harvest ingredient was sweet potato. So I made a sweet potato pie with a little bit of chai spice and a chai spice meringue on top with a brown sugar crumble. Flavored whipped cream is bourbon cinnamon because hello.
One of the pies is like half Dutch and half lattice top.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's really nice, you know, because like some people like streusel
Yeah.
and some people are wrong.
Right.
This sweet potato layer is so light and fluffy and full of flavor.
But I'm just not getting the chai spice, and I think I really want that.
This is the best bourbon whipped cream I've ever had.
Fabulous.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jennifer.
All right.
All right, Jeffrey.
Hello, judges.
What was your holiday harvest ingredient?
Apples.
What did you make?
Caramel apple cream pie with this wonderful cider reduction glaze, a little bit of sorghum.
Let's talk presentation. Nancy.
I like your little powdered sugar design. It's giving a little elegance to something that's very rustic.
Thank you.
The crust is so crisp. I love it.
It's very unusual, this apple cream pie, but I think it works.
Thank you.
But I didn't get that wonderful apple cider vinegar that you were talking about.
All right, Jeffrey, thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think that the sorghum was too heavy.
Maria, what harvest ingredient did you get?
Melissa took my plum, and I got ginger. So I chose to make a macadamia nut ginger pie with ginger whipped cream.
I'm intrigued to know what the green is on your pie. That's the look you were going for?
Oh, no. No, green puddle look was not what I was going for. I just did not have enough time to accomplish what I wanted.
It's not a looker.
Well, I love your pie crust. Oh, it's super short and crumbly and flaky.
But the goo's too gooey.
I agree. And yeah, I didn't taste any ginger.
Oh.
I got a lot of ginger from your whipped cream. I got no ginger from your pie. Sorry.
Maria, thank you.
Thank you, judges.
Thank you so
Maria.
much.
All right.
Thanks, Maria. Yeah, this is just sticky. Really, really thick.
Dwight.
I got pear. So yeah, I made pear raisin walnut.
What was the flavored whipped cream?
Orange.
Let's talk about how you think it looks, Duff.
You have these leaves that puffed amazing. I mean, seriously, it looks laminated. It's incredible.
All right, Nancy, we'll start with you. What did you taste?
The most wonderful gooey pear pie. I get the orange and the whipped cream.
My favorite thing of all of this are the oats. What a clever balance of flavors. You've pared down the other flavors to let the pear fruit shine through.
No pun intended.
Great job. Oh, someone noticed, did they?
Your crust is great. I want to eat this whole thing. I mean, it's really good.
All right, Dwight, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
The boy can bake.
Sarah.
So I got pumpkin. I made kind of a classic pumpkin pie filling.
So what sort of flavored whipped cream did you make?
Oh, I made a cinnamon whipped cream.
Judges, what are you thinking? Lorraine.
I think it's sweet. I like the way you've done the bow and the braid as well around the pie.
Yeah.
I love the whipped cream. Really nice and cinnamon. It's perfect for this pie.
Your pumpkin pie is delicious. That balance of spice is just heaven, heaven.
Thank you.
I think that your crust is raw.
It's baked on the bottom, but it's really kind of translucent
That
right
in
here.
between.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Sarah, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
It's really delicious.
But look at how thick that crust is.
Janet, which harvest ingredient did you get?
Maple.
So what sort of pie did you make?
A classic Canadian maple pie. I decided to go with just a basic whipped cream, just maple syrup on top.
Janet, I love your creativity. You've given us 3 different looking pies, but they all match together.
Thank you.
This, however, did you take out all your aggression on your whipped cream?
Actually, I like my whipped cream thick, and I like it right on the line.
A little past the line, chef. A little bit.
I love the simplicity of this. I just think it's just honest. Tree tap, maple syrup, done.
This crust is really interesting. Is there something on it?
It's like a whipped meringue. It's Mom's old recipe.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank you. Oh,
Yeah,
my goodness.
good job, Mom. Yeah, she's all right. Too bad she didn't teach you how to whip cream.
I know, I'm sorry.
All right, Janet, way to represent.
Yes,
Good
go
stuff.
Canada! Give her, eh?
Bye, Janet. Never a dull moment when you're around.
Let's welcome Kobe.
My harvest ingredient was the fig. So today I made a fig goat cheese pie. Flavored whipped cream is a honey basil whipped cream.
Let's talk presentation. Duff.
The crust is a little uneven. Some parts are hanging over. Some parts are non-existent.
I agree.
I think you did a great job of melding those flavors together.
Your crust on the back here is good. It's nice and crispy. On the bottom, it is pretty raw.
I love basil, but I don't think it goes with this because I think the fig is so strong, the goat cheese is strong, and I don't think it needs like a third flavor quite so overpowering.
You might have had a heavy hand in beating the whipped cream.
I wanted to try something out.
Okay, well, it didn't work.
Sorry.
All right, Kobe, thanks.
Thank you.
Look at that. Big old forking piece of dough right here.
All All right, judges, Harvest Pie Towers. Melissa,
I got plum. I traded for plum.
what kind of pies did you make?
I made a plum fruit pie with 2 forms of plum. Then I made a malted milk whipped cream.
It's so lovely. So you've just got a really nice variation, 3 different pies to show off 3 different skills that you have in making pies.
You're getting happy eyes from Nancy.
I know, I'm getting the eyebrows. I was hoping I'd get the eyebrows.
I think this is absolutely charming.
Your pie crust is so unbelievably flaky and crumbly. This is wonderful.
You got, the malt powder in your whipped cream. The earthiness of the malt and the brightness of the plums is so beautiful.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
You guys are making me cry.
All right, Melissa, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Perfect plum pie.
Perfect.
All right, bakers, your Harvest Pies had the judges feeling grateful. And a couple of your pie stacks towered over the rest. Melissa.
Oh.
Your plum fruit pie, it was plum delicious.
Oh my God.
It was jammy with big plum flavor, and your crust, it was flaky and crumbly.
Oh my God. Yes.
Dwight, your pear raisin walnut pie had a wonderful gooey pear center and an Odie streusel that the judges just could not get enough of. Wow. But only one baker was top crust today, and that baker is Melissa.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm feeling really good. Thank you.
Congratulations. We'll see you and Dwight back next week. Now, a few other pies were good enough to keep you on this hayride, and those bakers are Jeffrey, Jennifer, Cedric, Janet,
Ooh, gooder.
and Sarah. Congratulations, guys. That, of course, leaves Maria and Kobe. Please step forward. Maria, your macadamia nut ginger pie definitely had some decorating issues. And the judges, they just couldn't find the ginger. They also struggled with your sticky, thick filling. Kobe, 50% of the success of a pie lies in the crust, and yours was almost raw. The judges questioned your use of basil, and your whipped cream was verging on butter. Now, the judges really appreciated your pie wire act, but unfortunately, the baker leaving us today is Maria. Maria, I'm so sorry.
Thank you, thank you. I was just eliminated, but I'm still really proud that I even got here. You guys are gonna make me cry. And I know that it's gonna be an experience that I will never forget. Don't feel bad for me. I'm going home to Hawaii, guys. It's not that bad.
Mahalo.
Next week, create a Thanksgiving roll cake.
This is the sexiest thing I've ever made in my life.
It's so pretty.
You've really captured Thanksgiving. I want to eat this whole thing right now.
Me too.
It is so good.